Thank you, sir, for taking the time to meet with me and do this interview. How's FUS so far?
Are going really well,
Oh,
really well. It's a great meeting. It's nice to meet our friends and colleagues and learn some science.
oh,
This is a great moment. And again, thank you for having me here this
of
afternoon.
course.
It's really appreciated.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, can you tell us a little about yourself, your background, how you got into urology, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I went to medical school in India. So I decided to become a surgeon and became a general surgeon. During part of my training, I did urology and
Mm-hmm.
really got me excited. Now I'm going to date myself. This was in the 90s when really endoscopic surgery was taking off. And
Mm-hmm.
I got excited. So I came to the United States, did my residency in urology. During that time, I really started enjoying oncology. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went and did a fellowship at Memorial Sloan Kettering
Oh, wow.
and be a urological oncologist. And for the last 20 plus years, my area of interest has been prostate cancer, both clinical and research. And it's been a very rewarding experience.
Okay. Well, that's a very interesting journey. General surgery and then into urology, doing a fellowship at MSK. That's pretty interesting. Dr. Balaji, I also hear that you're big big on research. How's your research going? Can you tell us a little about your research?
That's correct. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of close to my heart. As I did urology, and it's an incredible field. I think we do tremendous amount of work, help thousands and millions of people. While we do this work, I also realize there's a lot to be learned, and and there's a lot to be discovered. Because we learn the knowledge that's already out there, but there's so much knowledge to be discovered, and no single person can do it. So it is a teamwork. And once I started discovering knowledge, I realized there's so much to be discovered. A single generation cannot do it. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to take generations of work, but each generation has to do its part. And so my commitment to research only strengthened throughout my career. And I broadly look at research at multiple levels. So one is discovery research, where we do basic science, where we really find knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Then we try and understand what is going on in the clinical area and how are we doing. It's just an assessment of ourselves, and that's what we call outcomes research. And then we try and do some applied work, try and do clinical trials, see whether whatever we've discovered in the laboratory, or we think, does it really work?
I
So
see.
clinical trials. So my research interest spans from basic science in the laboratory and doing outcomes research and clinical trials.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fully aware that I'm getting up there, and so I really want younger generation like you. And part of it is investing in our younger generation, so that you guys kind of understand the value of research, and hopefully, we teach you some skills and tools which will continue to evolve over a period of time, and will leave this a better place than we found it. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a future generation of urologists trying to do research and advance our field.
That's very exciting, sir. That is very exciting. Well, I know that you're very well accomplished in the research field, and I understand like one of your biggest interests is basic science, and you've done a lot of research on PRKD, and I know that you have that DoD grant. Could you tell us a little bit about PRKD?
Yeah, so one of the areas which interest in prostate cancer, and one big challenge we have with prostate cancer is initially is dependent on testosterone. We take it away, it becomes castrate, and beyond that, it can still continue to go. So we call that the castration-resistant prostate cancer, and this is an area I wanted to understand. So early on, when I was a fellow, did some preliminary work and discovered a gene that seems to be downregulated in castration-resistant prostate cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And once we discovered this gene, it was protein kinase D1. And then since then, we are trying to work through multiple interacting proteins and trying to understand the signaling pathway that's involved. And that's one aspect of basic research we do.
That is very fascinating, sir. Wonderful. Um, One thing I've realized while working with you, the way you run your oncology clinic, it's pretty particular. I don't think not many people do it the way that you do it. So I would like to hear your insights and thoughts on it.
Okay, thank you for asking. That's something we are very excited and proud about. So as we all know, doctors are very busy, and some of the cancer patients we take care of, their needs and are time sensitive. And while we try and do our best, I found that getting patients to see from one specialist to the other, and there's usually some delay. and sometimes communications don't happen as well as they should, and that can cause communication delay, and that leads to what we call fragmentation of care. And so I've been kind of thinking about how best to minimize the delays in referral and also any potential communication delays, ultimately fragmentation of care. And we came up with this model called the integrated cancer care model, where one team is able to provide the entire spectrum of care, from screening, diagnosis. If they need surgery, we provide surgery. And then if they have advanced cancer, we do our own chemotherapy, immunotherapy, small molecular therapy. And this, I think, is somewhat unique in the American academia, that one team is able to take care of the patient from diagnosis to end of life care. We have done over 200 patients this way for the last 5 years, and it's really working well. Patients are very satisfied with the care they get, and we feel good because we really save time for them and provide quality evidence-based care. And the other offshoot of this is now we are able to train younger generation like yourself into looking at how to deliver this kind of care. So hopefully, in the future, our residents who are trained this way will be able to emulate this model and continue to improve on it.
Yes, I mean, that is the interesting thing is I believe that with this particular model, I think that patients will get the full care that they need instead of going to multiple providers, just following with their urologist, get the medication that they need from surgery to chemotherapy, everything. I just really think it's a very well thought system. But enough about work. Tell us about Dr. Balaji. What do you like to do on your free time? What are some of your hobbies?
Yeah, I'm a very busy man outside work. I got a wonderful but demanding wife and two great children. So I'm a family man, a dad, a husband, a brother, an uncle first. So and then for my own self, I enjoy being on the water, and I'm a swimmer. That's what I do to keep fit. And then on the weekends, I go boating. And for Jacksonville, where I live, it's an incredible place. In my mind, it's probably the best place to live in this world. And ocean, river, intercoastal waterways. It's just plenty of water, and that's what I love. And then we got great sandy beaches here. So walk on the beach with my wife and my family and friends. That's great. A lot of hiking trails around here, so we hike quite a bit, and I think that keeps me going.
Okay,
And
well, that is wonderful. Well, thank you, sir. Dr. Casey Balaji, we'd like to thank you, Chair of our Department of Urology at UF Jacksonville. Thank you for taking the time,
You're
and
welcome.
this was very wonderful.
Okay,
It was
thank
good
you,
to talk to
Mohammed,
you.
and good luck with your career.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome.